Welcome to Allie's Attic, where you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise is a woman who, I love her description. She calls herself a rocker and a geeker. Please welcome T. Dawn. Hi, T. Dawn.
Howdy. I love that intro. I've not heard that one before, but I do know that both of them do fit me very well, and I do advertise together.
Yeah, it's on
intro before, so that's pretty darn cool.
Oh, right on. Well, no, it's on your Twitter, and I loved it. I'm like, oh my God, that is too cool. So basically, just tell us, like, when you got interested in music, all the things that have happened to you throughout your journey right up to now, because you're amazing. So just go nuts.
Well, thank you. It has been an amazing journey, I have to say. I've really loved every bit of it. And who knew such a long time ago in my childhood years that I was like, wow, okay, I really enjoy music. I want to get into it. My mom and dad started giving me all kinds of different instruments. Like, okay, yeah, try this out. You know, they want me to get started in something. And I'm like, okay, well, let me try the drum. Okay, did that. Let's move on. Try the guitar. Did that. Try the saxophone. Did that. It was so weird about it was as I'm playing all of this, I was structured. And I think it was really weird when, you know, I would go to play the guitar and see I'm left-handed. So they would give me the guitar, they would restring the strings, and of course I finally figured out how to do that. You know, one thing I really kind of felt backwards. I was like, oh, why aren't my friends actually restringing their guitars? And I don't know how I don't think I felt comfortable. I kind of felt stupid in a way. And so I would begin to play and do the structured part. We'd get together with some other musicians and start playing. And I was like, no, I just don't get it. More structured, the more I wanted to just kind of get away from it. But it was still always involved in it. My mother was always involved in church, so I got involved in church activities, which had to do with music. And so it just seems like it was embedded in me. I was there forever in music. As I traveled along in my later years, like, you know what? I really do need to get back into this. I love music so much. But what can I do? I mean, I can't play a darn thing the way I felt. I can't do anything. I can't even sing. And I just didn't feel like I had the confidence for any of it. And, you know, it was so great that my parents was encouraging on that. But they were only doing what they knew to do. Hey, give her guitar, let's restring it, all of these things. But in the long run, as I look back at it, I find that that kind of dampened things a little bit for me. Like, okay, as we move on through the years, I'm going to go ahead and get a piano. And as I started looking around for pianos, I don't know diddly what I'm looking for. It's like, what the heck, you know? What am I supposed to find here? I know my mother had organs and all kinds of different stuff, and again, I would play around with it, more of a structured base, get the songbook out. Okay. Cool, exciting, but not really the kind of excitement that I wanted. So as I started looking for a piano, I thought, why don't I do that rent-to-own type of thing? So just to see, maybe I'm still that same girl that says, move on to the next thing, move on to the next thing. Nothing's going to stick, so just don't do any commitment. And so I decided to go ahead and rent it, and I was starting to play. I was actually playing by feeling. And it's like, okay. And actually kind of to roll back before that, when I used to clean the church out, I would go over there, and there would be nobody there. And there was this grand piano right up there on stage, just as beautiful as can be. All the beautiful curves, and just like, I've got to be able to play that. So, of course, I'm going to go up there and play it when nobody's around. Of course, looking around to see if anybody, well, there's only one person that could be looking, but that was okay. And so I go up there and I started playing, and I'm like, this is interesting. I am actually playing a song, whatever it was just coming out of my hands and my heart and my feeling, and I started playing, and I was like, this is interesting. After that, that's when I decided to get the upright rented piano. And from there, I decided we're going to move into a house that was bigger, and I thought, well, that means I just need to get a bigger piano. So I started looking around for a grand piano. And this guy takes me up to the top part of the rooms, and there's all these pianos, just very overwhelming. Remember, I don't know anything about pianos, so I don't even know what the heck I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, just, take a look. Go ahead and play the ivories and have at it. I started walking around, and I found this beauty, which is in my house today. And she was just like calling for me to come play the ivories. So I sat down, and I started playing. And it just sounded so beautiful. The guy was baffled because I told him, I said, I don't really play. I don't even know what the heck I'm even playing. And he's like, what? This is amazing. Yeah. So I was like, he said, do you know that you picked one of the pianos here that is finely tuned? Out of all the pianos here, you picked that one. And I was like, really?
Wow.
Yeah, it was so weird how it all started connecting. So from there, that really started my journey. It started just that piano and just that feeling. I realized, forget the structure. I have to move away from the structure and go with feeling. Structure can come later, but right now, I needed that feeling. And I would tell everybody, I found this instrument that I love, and anybody who knew me knew that I loved playing, all kinds of different instruments, but I've never really, was able to show them anything out of all of it. And so they would be like, yeah, right, yeah, you can play this. Seriously, no, you have to listen to this. And people would stop. I would start playing. They would come over, and they would just stop what they're doing, and they were so amazed. And then from there, after I decided to get into the piano and that, I just said, well, why don't I pick the guitar up again? And this is what I really thought was very weird and interesting. And that was, I picked the guitar up right-handed. There was not even a second thought, no restringing anything. I just picked the guitar up, remembered what I learned from way back when, started playing.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was just amazing how that all happened. And then after that, the world just really changed. I was an instrumentalist before I got into singing, and my father passed away, unfortunately. And he would always say, you know what, you can really sing. I would get karaoke songs out, especially Stevie Nicks. I love Stevie Nicks.
Me too.
She's the greatest, isn't she?
Oh, yeah, I wanted to be here when I grew up.
Yeah, exactly. You get the little hat out, and the cape and everything, and it was just all of that. You wanted to be her. And so I would just, as I would take care of him, I would get the karaoke out, and I would sing with him and to him, and he would say, sing some more, your voice is awesome. I'm like, Dad, no, it's not. You're just saying that because you're my dad. And I have had people from time to time hear me sing just, from the radio, whatever. I'd be playing the radio and sing a little bit. Like, oh, wow, your voice sounds great. And I just never really took it to heart. So after he passed away, I said, I have a song. I have to write it, and it's about him. And who in the world is going to sing this song? it has to be me who's going to sing it.
Yeah.
But how can I do that, you know? How is that possible that I can actually do this? So I started working on it and went to the mic, got the guitar out, and started playing. And then that's when I wrote my first song, and that really changed me from an instrumentalist to a singer. And then after that, the world went crazy. I ended up playing at a place in LA that was bigger than I ever even thought I would play at. I played at Caesar's Palace. I'm like, what the heck? You know, the world just went really crazy after that. And I never even thought that any of this could ever happen. It's always been my dream, and I've always believed in dreams, but maybe not so much for myself. I don't know. I don't know if I really put so much into it, thinking that I could really do this. And it doesn't matter how young, how old you are. And I realized I have a task here. Not only is my task to write music, but it's to deliver and help others along the way. I'm not just an artist, but I'm also a leader. And I didn't know that I was taking up that other part of the job. And I learned a lot from it. So the journey has been really great. I know it was long-winded, wasn't it?
No, actually it was beautiful. And all I could keep thinking when you were talking about was divine intervention. And, you know, somebody looking down on you and saying, this is what you're going to do. So that's,
Indeed.
Yeah, that was totally what I was thinking. I wanted to, what are Starlights?
Yes. Starlights are my fans.
I thought so, but I wanted to fit it.
I had to find a name for them because they're just so important to me. We all shine together. It's just not me. It's not me who's out there making this all happen. We're all together in this. And I get inspired by them, and they get inspired by me. And I thought, you know, they're my starlights. And they love it, and I love it. Got a tattoo with them, you know, with a starlight on my arm for me to never forget about it.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Yeah. That is awesome.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. It's all just incredible.
Well, I've obviously listened to your songs. I'm going to read some of what other people have said about your songs. I'm going to read the first one because that's exactly how I felt about your voice. You have haunting vocals, and the music style is hypnotizing, and it almost puts you in a trance. And it totally does. Like you can just, I can't even, T-Dawn, your music is beautiful. Like I just can't describe it. Yeah. And then T-Dawn's vocals are powerful and driven. Not sure how she does it, but I find myself wanting more and more of her music. And this one, T-Dawn's music is addicting. Her vocals are like a drug I can't get enough of. And I was just like, yeah, that totally makes sense. So your voice is sexy, soulful, and powerful. You sing with passion and emotion. Now let's talk about the awards because,
wow.
I
forgot about that.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't. That's why I have your bio. You were the winner of the IMC Music Awards.
Yes.
Named as Best Female Alternative Artist and winner of the XMA Music Awards for Best Indies Song. Wow.
Yeah, I have to say I was absolutely blown away. Again, coming from a girl who just didn't think she had it, wanted it, but didn't think she had it, and then to just, be totally blown away. You hear your name, and you're just like, what? I really just don't know what to think of it all other than I'm extremely, extremely honored.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was fitting because like I said, I love your music. Now you're a singer, songwriter, musician. You're from Southern California. And your style is unique and refreshing because I don't know what I was expecting when I listened. I was thinking, okay, rock, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then I heard it and it's got a genre all of its own. I couldn't even put it in a genre because it's just different. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Indeed it is.
But it's beautiful. I love it. And yeah, you can't put it in a genre. You can sing, like it says here, you can sing a powerful knockdown rock song, and then turn around and really mess with somebody's emotions and sing a soft, soapy love song. And you can hear that in your voice. Like, you can do anything. So I think you've gotten very, very close to Stevie Nicks.
I would have to say so. You know what? I have heard people say, you know what, you sound like Stevie Nicks. You also sound like Pretenders and all these different people that I love to listen to. I didn't go out to mimic Stevie Nicks. I mean, you can hear it in my voice that I have a similarity just in talking. I can, you know, I've heard her interviews before and be like, oh my gosh, even our voices kind of sound alike when we're talking. And I never in my life would I have ever thought that I would be, somebody say, hey, you sound like Stevie Nicks. I'm like, are you crazy?
But you do.
And really, just making it all of my own, and the part of the haunting and all of that, you know, it's just all that seems to flow. And I'm like, wow, of course there's influences there, but you have to make things your own. And that's what I, you know, went out to do, is just make what I was feeling inside and delivering it. So yeah, I do get a little bit thrown off when somebody says, hey, you sound like
you sound like you, but you can hear, you do have your own style. You know it's you when you hear your voice, like as soon as it starts playing. But you can hear a little bit of Stevie Nicks, and Chrissie Hynde, like the Pretenders, I can hear that too. So I mean, that's such a compliment, but you've made it your own. So it's really cool. I absolutely love it. Now you've been featured in several magazines, have airplay all over the world, and you do have a huge following. So your starlights are as loyal to you as you are to them by going and getting that tattoo and appreciating them.
Yes.
And you share your life stories through your music and your online commentaries. And you were totally born to do this because, I mean, like I said, divine intervention. Like, just listening to you, I was like, okay, God had a plan for her, and this is what it was. And this is what she's doing. It's so true.
And I thought when I first started out that I was going to maybe be driven towards being a Christian singer. I thought that would be it, you know, that I was going to be singing about God and all of these different things, the things that I feel within. But as I started moving along my journey, like, no, that's not what you're going to do. You're going to be able to reach out to those who want to listen to something that's gothic, something that's alternative rock, something that's soft. You're going to reach across the whole genre spectra. And I'm like, okay.
Well, you do.
I didn't know that. You know, like I said, as to any artist out there, I think it's very important for them to know that you become a leader. As you start moving through this and become a vessel to tell people about things, to listen. I can't tell you the numerous of fans who tell me their life stories, and I respect that and love that so much, and all that was driven through music. And had I stuck with just Christian music, which I, you know, have wrote some Christian songs throughout these different, you know, series of songs that I've been doing, or I'll just kind of throw a little something into a lyric. Had I just stuck to one area, I don't know if I would have reached as many. So I just keep along this journey. It seems to be working.
Yeah, it totally is. It absolutely is. Now, you were talking about becoming a leader, and like, obviously I'm not going to get like Blake Shelton or, you know, Christina Aguilera or anybody on my show yet.
You never know. You never know.
Oh, I will. I keep bugging them. Trust me, I will get them. But the majority of the reason, I mean, not only am I a fan of theirs, but I want to hear their advice because they're making it. And so are you. So if you had any advice to give any new artists that are starting out, what would it be, T. Dawn?
Well, remain true to yourself is one of them. And I know many people hear that, but it's extremely important that you remain true to yourself. If you don't, and you start listening to all those out there, oh, you should do this, you should sound like that, you know, whatever, you start losing yourself. And I actually started doing that. I started, as you were talking about the award, I was going for them. I kept, it's the awards, it's the awards, it's the awards. And I'm like, I can't get enough. Oh, I need to get, and I said, you know what? This is ridiculous. You're losing yourself. This is not what you're about. So I stopped. I stopped entering in contests. And I said, that's enough. I can't do this anymore because it's not what I'm about. And that's not what an artist should be about. An artist, today's world, needs to be more than just an artist. You need to be a person who is giving, who cares, and who is willing to listen, who is willing to provide, other ways of talent. Well, and we see it all over TV today, where the big artists, like what you're talking about, they do more than just play in a venue now. They're on TV. They're on, game shows, all that. Because what? The people want more out of them. They want realism. And that's what I'm finding out. I'm like, that's what people want. And that would be the biggest recommendation that I can make to another artist. Continue to be true to yourself and find those other things that make you interesting, because I can't just keep on saying, hey, listen to my music. Listen to my music. That's just not going to work. What am I about? Like you said on the Twitter, I'm a geeker. I am. People are going to read that, and do I hold true to that? Most certainly. I've been a geeker for the longest that I can remember. And so you want to hold true to all those factors. Don't let someone else mold you. Let you mold who you are within and let it just kind of radiate to others. That is the biggest thing. The other thing that I would suggest, don't keep on chasing after the stars all the time. There's a lot of competition out there.
Mm-hmm.
And again, true to yourself, and that's what wins.
Wow.
I found to work on this side, and I've helped a lot of artists along the way, and that's what I tell them. I'm like, hey, this is what you have to do. These are the things that you need to start doing, and they've found that does work. You have to find that niche for yourself. Once you find that niche, run with it.
Yeah, that is great advice. Great advice. And it kind of encompasses, my biggest fear for these young artists that are starting out, because, like you said, there are so many, is that they're going to, maybe get signed or find a manager, or, oh my God, I have to sound like Carrie Underwood, or, I have to sound like Cher, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
And they compromise themselves. And it scares me sometimes, because when they're starting out, I don't want them to go through that, because I've talked to artists that have gone through that, and picking yourself up after that and starting over again can be quite difficult, and it really damages your ego. So I am so glad that you said that, because it's very true. You have to be you.
Right, exactly. As soon as you start veering off, it really does change. I mean, I've been through that, and I'm so glad that I was able to grab the rope in time before I just started going off to nowhere land. And it's really helped me out tremendously.
Yeah, well, I liked that very much.
I'm follow suit, even if it's like what you're doing, just keep on moving through, and you get those people that you're looking for, to have on there.
Well, and I'm moving forward. I'm not stopping. I'm not letting anybody stop me or tell me what I should
right.
do. It's my show, and yeah, I'm going to do. And regardless of whether I get them or not, at the end of the day, I am so happy that I've had independent artists on, and maybe I'm helping them in some small form. That makes me happy, and that's all that matters to me. So
that's exactly it. The way that you've got to look at it is saying, okay, what did I get out of this? What was in return? What did I do for someone else? And all the rest of it, of course, we want to make money from everything, and we want all these other things. But at the end of the day, what did it do for you?
Exactly.
And then what did it do for the other person on the other side?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the key part right there.
It is. It totally is. And there needs to be more of that in the world, as far as I'm concerned, people helping people.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Okay, now what 2 songs are we going to hear from you?
Controlled by Vanity and It Cuts Like a Knife.
Okay, I listened to a few of your songs, but I listened to both of them. Controlled by Vanity is by far my favorite. I love the way it starts out, and I love the way your voice comes in. And like I said, haunting. Your voice is so haunting. I could be in the middle of a huge mall and they'd throw your music on and I'd know it was you. I would just totally know it was you. And I'm encouraging everybody, please go and purchase T. Dawn's music wherever you purchase your online music. Don't pirate it. Don't stream. Nowadays, artists, especially independent artists, need all the help they can get. And please buy their music and support them. That's my biggest pet peeve.
Yes, that's for sure. It's hard out there. Everybody needs to be able to support. So if you really like the music, you have to. I mean, hey, they're like 99 cents, maybe less now. Someone's not name your price on some people to do that. It's like, come on, all they want is just that little pat on the back. Really, that's what that is.
Yeah. And
how did I do, Do you really like it?
Yeah, how many people bought my songs or, and watching it grow up the chart, because I don't think people realize either, the more that people buy your songs, the more you go up on like an iTunes chart. And
oh, yeah, exactly.
That you totally want. And what they also don't realize, most indie artists work another job because you can't really make a living when you're first starting out as an indie artist, any artist. But also the money that you get, like if somebody buys a song from you from iTunes, you don't get it all. You get a percentage of it. So it's very important that the more they buy it, the better it is for the artist, period.
Mm-hmm. And the plus side, if an artist could have their own website and actually have their own cart and all that kind of stuff, if they have all the technical knowledge, then they could grab all the money. That's kind of what I've done on my side. But you do have to have those other outlets like iTunes and all that. But it does help out if you can drive people to your site so you get every bit of it, or you can decide to give discounts or freebies. You kind of have your own say on everything. You're
in control of it, and I encourage everybody to go to your website, tdawn.com. It's going to be up on my website. And yeah, please go to her website and find out more about her. She's a beautiful, beautiful lady. And she's fun. And she's got an amazing voice. So thank you so much for taking time out of your, I'm sure, very busy schedule to come on my show. I'm very humbled and I'm honored. So thank you.
Well, Ali, I really, really appreciate it. I mean, like I said, this is a great avenue, great outlet for you to be able to do this, for artists to be able to come on here. And I have to say I'm very honored as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Don't make me cry. Okay.
You can. Go ahead.
No, I don't like crying. Okay. And thank you for joining me on Allie's Attic. Keep checking my website because you never know what kind of surprises you'll find in my attic. Cheers.